Hey, have you heard about my AI alter ego? That's right. Ask Alan Anything is now live, and we've trained it on my 13 books. We've trained it on over 200 podcasts. It has most of what's in here, not everything, but most of what's in here. And you can, when you're sitting around going, gee, I wonder what Alan would do in this situation, or I wonder what Alan would say in this situation. Well, now you can. Go to whatwouldallansay.com. Enter the coupon code podcast because you're going to get half off. It starts at only $10 a month. And now when you're thinking, I wonder what Alan say, now you can actually ask. Go to whatwouldallansay.com, enter the coupon code podcast, and start asking me anything. How can you be authentic in an AI world? Listen to this episode. I'll tell you how. Welcome to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I'm your host, Alan Berg. I'm a speaker, author, sales trainer, website reviewer, and I help businesses like yours sell more, profit more, and have more fun doing it. Enjoy this episode. Hi, it's Alan Berg. Welcome back to another episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. I've been working with AI a lot lately. As a matter of fact, ChatGPT sent me my summary for the year, and it said I was in the top 3% of people using ChatGPT for the year, which kind of blew my mind. But when I started looking back at what I've been doing, it kind of prompted this particular episode, because what I'm doing with it is different than a lot of people in that I'm starting with content that I or you already have, and then working with that. A lot of people go in, get a blank screen, just start typing in there. If you haven't already personalized your ChatGPT, you definitely need to do that. I'm just going to give you the quick overview here. You go to the bottom left corner, see your name, click on it, click on personalize, and then it has boxes there. Fill out those boxes and tell it more about who you are, how you want it to speak, how you want it to answer. And don't forget to look at the different personalities that it has up at the top. You can choose, as of when I'm recording this, there are 7 different ways you can have it answer, including cynical and nerdy and things like that. It's actually kind of fun. But it's a tool, and we have to learn how to use this tool better. So how do you sound authentic in an AI world? You have to give more context. You have to give more background. You have to give it more information about who you are, who it's for, and then not just let the AI, whether it's ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, I'm using all of these, just not having it go out and grab things on the internet and pull them in there, because that's other people's stuff. But you can have it work with your website text, your brochures, your blogs, your articles, your emails, and things like that, and then have it tweak those so it's still you, but updated in a way that, yeah, you might be able to do yourself, or you might be able to give somebody else to do. And if you haven't already heard the episode with Allison Shapira, her book was great. It was AI for Leaders, and she had said, would I be okay with a person doing this for me, right? Like, you'd be okay if you gave me your emails to rewrite for you, because they're still your emails. And I'm going to say, here, let's take your words, let's tweak them over here, right? And sometimes, you know what, we scrap it all together because they need to start over it. But most of the time, we're trying to keep your voice. Matter of fact, that's what Ask Alan Anything does, my alter ego. It's not allowed to go to the internet. Right? You can't say, go look at this website or whatever. You can copy text in from your website, from an email, from brochure. And that's what people are doing, is they're copying in the response they would make to an inquiry and saying, hey, is this okay? Or what can we do with this? And it's taking your words and then working with them, right? That's it. But I've put guardrails on that, right? It's not allowed to go outside of that, which is really cool. I actually use it myself for creating new presentations, because I wanted to mine my information. I have 13, maybe 14 books by the time this is coming out. And, I wanted to look into that and my podcasts and my presentations. So it's my content, not going outside. Right now, most of you don't have as much content, but you do have your emails, you do have your website text, you do have your brochures, you do have, if you've written blogs in the past and social posts, and you can take this and play with it. One of the great stories I heard, and I've probably mentioned this already, but if you haven't heard it yet, was I was doing a mastermind, and somebody said what they do is on the way back from the wedding, right at the night at the end of the wedding, they turn on ChatGPT and they talk to it. You can actually click the little three lines to the right of the box where you would type in and talk to it and just tell it the story. Let me tell you about the wedding that I just did, right? And then the next day, you can turn that into a blog post or a real wedding story or 5 or 10 social posts, right? You can turn it into things because it's your content. You have a lot more content than you're thinking that you might have because you're thinking, I haven't written any blogs. Okay. But this could write a blog for you from your words. This is the key. If you want to sound authentic, think about the ways that you can prompt it. This is what it's called prompt engineering, where you can prompt it and prime the pump here by giving it more of your own content. I play around a lot with different stuff on AI, some of which I never use, but it also gives me ideas. The book, The AI Driven Leader, I've mentioned that before, where you can use ChatGPT as your thought partner. I'm sure you can do the others as well. That's the one that I use for this, which is another point. Different AI are good for different things, different tools, right? Like just think about physical tools. If I go to my garage, I have toolboxes full of tools and cabinets full of tools, right? I have many different things similar, right? Screwdrivers. I can't even imagine how many screwdrivers I have, but they're different sizes, different tips on the end of them there, magnetic, non-magnetic, long, short, stubby, ratchet. I mean, you name it, different ones. And not every one is right for the job, right? Like the biggest screwdriver I have is not good if you're trying to take that little battery cover off on your electronic device to get to the battery box. You need a little tiny screwdriver, right? Or fix your eyeglasses. You wouldn't use a huge screwdriver for that. But the opposite is true as well. If you need to tighten a large, screw with a lot of torque, you need a big screwdriver, not a little tiny eyeglass screwdriver. So being authentic is understanding the tool, understanding how it works, and when you learn like how to customize ChatGPT, if you go into the back, go into your personalization and you tell it who you are, you deep knowledge of who you are, what you do, background on you, and things like that, you will get much better responses because it's speaking from that lens. I've just started to play with Notebook LM, which is what part of Gemini with the whole Google suite there. And you can do deep research, right? You can go deep research and have it do deep research on you. What do you know about me? And see what it can find about you online. And maybe you're like, that's it? Or maybe it finds stuff that's old, right? Do you need to update some things? Do you have profiles out there that are outdated? Right? You get a new award, you get a new certification or something, or maybe just your headshots and things. Does it need to get updated? Right? Because when someone searches for you, they search differently than you do because your computer has a history knowing what you've done, where you've gone. You can't get the same look. You can't ask it. You can't ask AI, right? Other than maybe Notebook LM the first time. You can't ask AI to what do you know about me because it already knows about you. I can't ask my chat GPT things about me to from the perspective of someone who doesn't know me because it knows too much about me. I would need to literally have someone who's never searched for me go into ChatGPT and do that. And I actually got a client the other day who told me they found me on ChatGPT. What they did was they knew of someone who in another industry does similar to what I do and very famous for actually in another country for doing things like this. And then they put into AI, I'm looking for someone who can help me and my wedding venue in my area who's like this person, but from my industry. And they said, I came up first. Good, right? But I can't do that search because that search is already knows me. So of course it's going to say, of course it's you, Alan, right? It's going to do that. That's kind of the way it talks to me. This sounds just like you, Alan, right? So you want to get better, more authentic results? You need to learn the tool better. You don't have to use them all, right? The reason I use so many is because I found that, some weren't good at what I wanted it to do. So I tried another one, or someone said, hey, try this one. That's why Claude powers Ask Alan Anything right now. It might not in the future. I get to choose the back end, which model and which platform it uses. Right now, I still like Claude for that. But I like Perplexity for research, and been using Gemini for images using their Nano Banana. It's really good at making images, much better right now, I think, than ChatGPT. And I'll run them side by side. I'll run them side by side. Ask it the same thing with the exact same prompt, and I get two different responses. Sometimes I like one better than the other for images. Kind of like the ones better right now on Gemini's Nano Banana for my thought knowledge and acting as my thought partner. I like ChatGPT right now. That's me. You might choose a different one, but I wouldn't use Perplexity for those same things. That's not its strength. So, how to be more authentic? Learn the tool. Again, you don't have to learn them all. I'm sure there's plenty of tutorials out there. And the beauty is you start playing with it and you don't have to use what it does. It's not going to be like, oh my gosh, you didn't use, I did all this research for you. No, it doesn't think like that. It doesn't complain. And like I said, I'm even using Ask Alan Anything for deep dives when I'm making presentations because let's face it, I'm human. Do you think I remember everything I wrote in every one of my books word for word? No, but it can find that. You can too if you use Ask Alan Anything, but it can certainly find that. So how to be more authentic? Understand you have a lot more content than you think you do, and understand the tool better, and you'll come up with results that nobody else can come up with because they're not feeding it the same things that you can. So hope that gave you something to think about. If you want to know more about that, I do consulting about that. I'm doing presentations around the country and workshops about that. Certainly love to help you with that as well. In the meantime, play with it a little bit more, right? But start by, if you're using ChatGPT, personalize it. Personalize it, personalize it, personalize it. It will know more about you. It'll give you better responses right away. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Wedding Business Solutions Podcast. If you liked it, please subscribe to this channel and post a review on your chosen platform, Apple Podcasts or whichever one. If you have any questions about anything in this episode or any of my episodes, email me directly at alan@weddingbusinesssolutions.com or visit my website, alanberg.com, alanberg.com. If you have any suggestions for future topics or guests that you'd like to see, please again, email me or visit my website. Thanks for listening.